This is so you can make a SOURCEBIN create command for Discord.js version 14 bot, so let's go and get started. So before I show you how to do this, I'd like to say that if you'd like to get access to the source code from this video and other videos on my channel, you can do so by joining a channel membership on YouTube or a subscription over on Discord. On YouTube, if you get the Super God or Custom Bot tier, you will get access to that source code, and over on Discord, if you get the God or Custom Bot tier, you will also get access to that source code, and of course on both platforms, if you get the Custom Bot tier, me and my team will code you a personalized custom Discord bot. If any of this is of interest to you, go ahead and click the links in the description below to get started with this, and let's go and get into the video. So we can start by going over to our moderation or community. For me, I'll do community, and we can go ahead and create sourcebin.js. So to start, we can do const, and we're going to get our / command builder. We can get our embed builder. We can get our action row builder. We can get our button builder, and we can also get our button style. And then we do equals require, and we can go ahead and get our discord.js package. Then after doing that, we can do our module.exports, and we can go ahead and open this up. We can get our data, which is going to be new / command builder. We're going to go ahead and set a name. This can be our SOURCEBIN create, and then we can go ahead and set a description here. We can go ahead and say create SOURCEBIN, and then we can go ahead and add a string option. We can go ahead and do option arrow function option.setName. This can be the content to put into the SOURCEBIN, and we can go ahead and set required on that to true. We can add a comma here. We're going to do async execute. We can go ahead and get our interaction, and we can go ahead and open this up. In here, we can go ahead and start by doing interaction.defer reply. This way, if it takes longer than the interaction's time limit, we can just go ahead and make sure the command still works. So then after doing that, we can go ahead and do const, and we can go ahead and get our options here, and then we can do equals, and we can go ahead and set that to our interaction. Then we can do const content equals options get string, and that is going to be our content string. Next, we can go ahead and actually create the SOURCEBIN. So we can do const bin equals await fetch, and we can go ahead and get HTTPS. We can do // we can go ahead and get source b.in, and then we can do /API/bins. And then we can do comma, and we're going to go ahead and open this up. In here, we can go ahead and get our method, which is going to be post, and then we can do comma, we can do headers, and we can go ahead and open this up. We're going to go ahead and get content type, and then we can do a colon, and we can go ahead and get our application /JSON. Then we can do a comma here. We're going to go ahead and add a comma here. Then we can do body, and we can do JSON, and we can do .stringify. We can go ahead and open this up here. We can get files. We can open this up as well. We're going to go ahead and open this up even more, and we can do name, which is going to be our sourcebin.txt. So we can go ahead and give that a name, and we can do comma, we can do content, and we can go ahead and give that our name, which is going to be content. And we can go ahead and add commas all the way here, and then we can just go ahead and add a semicolon there. So then after doing that, we can go ahead and do if bin.ok. So basically, when you're creating this, the API is going to give you an OK if it actually worked. So you can just go ahead and check that here. So if it is OK, we can do const, and we can go ahead and get our key, and we can do equals await bin.json, and then we can do const link equals https //, and we can get source b.in / and we can go ahead and get our key. We can go ahead and add a semicolon as well. Then we can go ahead and create our embed. So we can do const embed equals new embed builder. And we're going to go ahead and set a color. This is going to be blue. We can also do blur pool, I guess. That looks pretty good. Then we can go ahead and set a description. I'm going to go ahead and get an emoji here. So we can just go ahead and do this one. And we can go ahead and say, I have created your, and we can go ahead and get SOURCEBIN for you, just like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and add a button. So we can do const button equals new action row builder, and we can go ahead and add components here. So we can add components, new button builder. Then we can go ahead and set a label here. We're going to go ahead and make this open because we're going to be opening that button. And we can go ahead and set URL, and we can go ahead and get our link, which is going to be our URL that we're going to go ahead and open with the button. And finally, we can go ahead and set our style, which is going to be button style.link. That way we have the correct style and not some random button that we don't need. Next, we can go ahead and send this message. So we can do await interaction.reply. Actually, we're going to do edit reply. And we can get our embeds, and we can get our embed. And then we can do components, and we can go ahead and get our button component. And we don't need to set it to informal because we've already done that in the defer reply. So then we can go ahead and say else here, and we can go ahead and return await interaction.edit reply, and we can say content, and we can go ahead and say there was an error while creating your source bin, and we can go ahead and say please try again later. Again, we do not have to add informal there because it's already going to be there from the defer that we set above. Alright, so with that we are actually done. Now I did mess one thing up, so we can go ahead and fix that. So up here in the top, I accidentally set the name to what the description is going to be, so we can go ahead and copy that out, and we can go ahead and say content, and then we can go ahead and set a description. We're just going to go ahead and paste that back in, and then with that we are actually done. So now we can go ahead and save the file with that change, restart the bot to test this out. Alright, so over in the Discord server we can go ahead and test this command out. So we can go ahead and get our source bin command, and we have the content. Now obviously you could go ahead and add more fields, so you could have a name and all that stuff if you would like, but for me I just went ahead and inputted that already, so we don't have to make it overly complicated. We can just input the content we want, and we can edit that within the actual source bin later. So we can go ahead and just give it some content. So we can go ahead and say a bot created this source bin using API, and then we can just go ahead and send it here. So as you can see, it's going to think for a little bit, and then it's going to go ahead and send me this embed saying it has created the source bin for me, and it's going to give me this open link. So we can actually go ahead and click on it here, and we can go ahead and click visit site. As you can see, it did generate a key as well, and as you can see here, after opening it, we do have our paste bin or our source bin right here. So the first thing that you can notice is that we have a sourcebin.txt. Now obviously you can change that later, so we can go ahead and say code test or something like that. And then we also have our source bin, so it's going to give us the exact same content we sent in with the bot before using the command, and it's actually going to write that into our code right here. So we can actually go ahead and try this one more time. So we can go ahead and do source bin create, and let's say we want to go ahead and use the source code from this video. So we can just go ahead and copy that in. And now I know that's a lot, but I think it should work, and we can go ahead and send it here, and as you can see it's going to work. So we can go ahead and open this link, and as you can see here, it did put it in. Now unfortunately, because there is a string limit, I believe it did get cut off. So I don't think it's going to put it all in there, unfortunately, but obviously it did create the paste bin. And let's say you just wanted to actually edit it, so you could go ahead and delete it, and you could actually go ahead and get the source code that you put in before, and you can go ahead and paste it in there. So it did actually create the source bin for you with the name and everything, and you can even input your own content into it as you would like, but you may have to edit in a little bit because obviously it can't input that much as a string. Maybe you could use a model or something like that, but obviously it does work, and it works like it should. And just for reference, I have removed the code in here, so just don't bother trying to get the code from the source bin. So that's how you can code a source bin create command for Discord.js version 14 bot. If you do need any help with this, go ahead and join the server in the description below, and we'll be happy to help you out. And you might as well just join anyways because it is a pretty good coding community. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.